Hello, guys. Trying to live today because I never know what my Wi Fi is going to do at any moment. So, today I want to talk about a post that I said that I was going to talk about on Instagram. And it, honestly, I'm glad that older, wiser, women are coming out talking about these things, but it's unfortunate that women have to get into their 30s, 40s, and 50s before they understand that there is strategy, there is a certain way that you need to think about your life when you want to be married. So I'm just waiting a couple seconds to see if anybody's going to join me live because I know it's early. It's in the morning. And I'm going to go ahead and share my screen and talk about this article that I came across about Vivica Fox. And I thought it was a very interesting article. I'm going to pull up the article on the Madame Noir site. I really hate this site. Like, I don't right, but I think this is a site that's going to keep you single. I think this is one of the most toxic feminist websites that you could actually listen to advice from ever in life. And I'm not saying the people are bad. I'm just saying that the advice that these unmarried women give is really ridiculous. But hey, to each their own, and whatever you like, you like. All right, so I'm not going to read the whole article, but basically the gist of this article, AKA Fox says, prioritizing sex when looking for Mr. Right is the reason she's still single. When I read this, I just thought to myself, how dreadful is this story? Like, how, Sway? How does a beautiful, successful woman find herself in a predicament such as this? And it was just really shocking to me. Well, it wasn't shocking. Let me take that back. It wasn't shocking. It's not shocking. It just kind of reiterates. I'm just seeing what y'all are saying in the comments. Hi, I see y'all are coming in. It just reiterates the fact that a lot of women are going to never get married. And you always have that one. I'm watching my language because I don't want to come off offensive to people who have different beliefs or different ideologies or different ideas than me. But I find it hard to have conversations with women who actually have had children by men. You gave him your whole womb. Yet you will turn around and you will tell me you don't want to get married. That's very weird to me. And I would actually, I would be so mindful of these women who will have a whole child by a man, a whole child. And some of these women actually have 2 and 3 children by a man who has yet to commit to them. And then they will turn around and try to argue me down in the comments about how everybody doesn't want to get married, and that's not the standard for everyone. And I think to myself, of course, there's some, I think there are anomalies. I think most women want to be married. We want to be doted on by a man. We want to be spoiled. We want to be treated right. We want to be loved. We want somebody to travel with. We want somebody to eat with. We want those things. And even those women who say they don't want to be married, they sure like to have lots of sex. It's funny to me. It's very interesting, but that's a whole other topic. I'm going to do a whole video about these women who are always talking about, well, everybody doesn't want to be married, but you're a single mother. So you want to be a single mother? Okay, I get it. You wanted to be a single mother, but you don't want to be married. See, I don't believe half of these women that talk, because they're never going to be honest. They're never going to be honest about the fact, hey, of course I want to get married, but it just didn't happen that way. I made some mistakes. Okay, because we all make mistakes, right? Like, none of us are perfect. So we've all made mistakes. We've all done the right thing. But don't tell me you gave a whole child to a man and then tell me you decide a man you want to marry, because then I think you're boo-boo the fool. That's what I think. I think something's wrong with you, that you're off as a woman. But that's a whole nother conversation. Okay, so Vivica Fox says prioritizing sex when looking for Mr. Right is the reason she's still single. Now, first let me say I love Miss Vivica. She is one of my favorite. I don't think she's the best actor. That's not why I like her. I like her work ethic. I like her grind, even though I hate that word. I like her hustle. I like her longevity. I've met her. She's very kind. She was an acting diva-ish when I met her. And so I really do like Miss Vivica Fox. I'm not talking about her personally. I don't know her personal life. I don't know her story. I'm just taking what she said in this article off of Madame Noir. I hate this feminist site. I would recommend no single woman listen to any of their advice, because it's probably going to lead you down to a road of not getting married, like most women, in particular, Black women. Okay? That's why I don't like this site. I think they give terrible advice. But anyway, let's read the part that I want to talk about. So it says, during an episode this week, Fox actually opened up about her personal dating issues while helping a guest with their own. She admitted that she used to prioritize the wrong thing when she was trying to figure out who to date. And years later, the 54-year-old actress is attempting to do things differently. Among the things she's looking for in a man is a good sense of humor, someone who makes her feel butterflies. Why would that be one? Because butterflies are going to go away, but that's a different topic. Someone who likes to have fun. And a man who has his own money, which, honey, I'm here for that. Especially if you're over 30, the man needs to come to you with their own money. Can y'all tell me if y'all can hear me? Because I feel my internet's kind of lagging a little bit. So just tell me yes if y'all can hear me. If you're over 30, a man needs to come with his own money. Okay? You guys know I got married young in my 20s. We both started out with degrees and no money besides the money that our families gave us. Thank God we had good families. But we've grown together and we've had careers and we've leveled up and we're doing different things now. So when you get married in your 20s, it's a different story. When you get married in your 30s, 40s, and 50s, that's a whole different situation. I was totally different when I turned 30, okay? And thank God I had a man that we matured and we grew together. But that's a bad thing if you look at your husband at 30 and you're like, oh my gosh, I made the biggest mistake of my life. But that's a different topic too. All right, so she says, to be honest with you, for the longest time, I used to be like, girlfriend, just one lustful little thing. A six-pack and a smile used to get me every time, she said. But now I've grown up, and honestly, I'm looking for a good partner. I need someone that's going to make me laugh. I need someone that's going to make me smile. I want a man that when I see him, he gives me butterflies. That every time his number pops up on my phone, that I get excited to see him. Now, I just want to take that part of the argument. Before I unshare my screen, I wanted to share, I do want to go look at some of these comments because I think some of the comments are interesting that people left. But this is what I want to say. What she's looking for disturbs me partially, okay? So she says she wants a man that makes her funny. That's great, but listen, everybody's not going to marry a comedian, okay? She used to be into men for their looks. Listen, we all want to be sexually attracted and have chemistry with our spouse, but how a man looks really should be like at the bottom of your list, especially if you're over 30, okay? That needs to go like down to the bottom, how a man looks. I never heard her mention anything about morals, character, a stand-up guy, Everybody's not religious, so I don't know if she's religious or not. Values, religious beliefs, stability. She did say she wanted him to have his own money, but she never went into anything that's actually going to help you make a marriage last, okay? Because this is the honest truth. You have a lot of these men giving relationship advice, a lot of these women giving a relationship advice, but ain't there. And listen, I'm gonna take it, slang now. Ain't there none of them been married ever. Okay, you got a lot of women, maybe they've divorced, maybe they're never been married altogether, but they teaching y'all how to identify a good man and get out there and date and do that. How you know? How do y'all know? Y'all ain't been there married ever in your life. You have not even maintained anything with stability ever. And all these good men out here talking about relationships. Why aren't y'all married? Because let me tell you, there's an abundance of women. All these men relationship coaches should also be married. Every last one of them should be married because they got the answers, right? So there's all these women out here, and y'all haven't found one woman yet to scoop up and marry, yet y'all giving all this advice to women. It's a hustle. So let me tell you, this love niche, this relationship niche has become a hustle for a lot of people. And they hustling it because they're not really living the life. They're not living the life of what it takes to be married. They're not living the life of everything that goes into maintaining relationship, to understanding how to pick a spouse, to understanding how to work out the issues that you'll have in a marriage. And so that's the problem that I have with a lot of these relationship coaches. And I have a problem with Vivica for what she said, because she didn't say anything that had like real substance. Now it's an article. Maybe she said more. Maybe they only quoted her for that. So we can't look at, the internet and assume that's all she said. But all I'm saying is she still has missed the mark in looking for a man, in my opinion. So these comments are interesting. Before I give you my final commentary, these comments are interesting because some of them are saying, if you haven't figured it out by 54, you ever figure it out. Saying, I'm sure every man she slept with made her smile and she had butterflies. So what's different now? That's true. Stop making excuses. You had some great times, and it was just that the men she was with didn't want a relationship with her. Because I tell you guys all this all the time. A man will sleep with you, but that does not mean he want a relationship with you. A man will have a whole family with you and still not want you to be his wife. He will have a whole family. Yeah, you will give him your whole womb, and he still won't marry you. So with that just because it does not. Somebody should have told her she's not. I agree. This is behavior that I would expect from a naive 21-year-old. I wouldn't expect someone over the age of 30 to not discovered that, you have to be looking for certain things in a spouse. Okay. Somebody said a woman valuing dang-a-lang over everything. Who would have knew? Now that she has that blank rubber, she should be lucky if any man likes her. Her face is starting to look like she has the elephant man disease. Now, this is just mean. They're going to talk about looks. Now, Vivica has done some work to her face. I wish she wouldn't have, because I thought she was absolutely beautiful. Women of color age so wonderfully well if we take care of ourselves, which is I'm on the journey right now, trying to work out, trying to keep my skin together, trying to drink my water and mind my business, trying to do everything that we need to do to preserve. We preserve so well. So I don't know why Vivica can mess up her face. Our decision is her life, whatever. All right. Somebody says, please, it's no different than rappers wanting fake surgery aided Instagram girls. In fact, if men had the choice between one of them, earth woman, IG girl, so stop with the fake outrage. That doesn't make sense to me. Because first of all, why does any woman care about what a rapper is looking for? if you want to date a rapper, that's your problem right there. Okay. Now, it's one thing if you knew this person before they became famous and y'all have had a relationship and you know it is what it is. But if you legit want to date a rapper, something is wrong with you. So if you look to rappers for advice, if you look to rappers as role models, if you look to rappers for anything but shallow entertainment, well, that would be your problem right there. And men don't want to IG. They want you to be fat. They might look, but they're not necessarily looking for entertainment and real life is two different things. Somebody says, I think there's a lot more to the story. I'd love for her to do a Super Soul Sunday with Oprah on this topic. I think it's important, like she believes so much in the sex first type of compatibility. That's interesting. I would like to hear more about this story too. Somebody says Vivica has terrible taste in men. Yeah, it doesn't seem like her history is too good, right? Her obsession with 50. Oh yeah, that was so embarrassing for her. She had a really deep obsession with 50 Cent when they dated. Somebody says that she thinks that she's emotionally unstable. Now, when that whole issue happened with 50 Cent, where she went out in the media and she blasted him because I guess he hurt her or whatever he did, she made herself look bad. Because here's the thing. When someone hurts you, when you think it's the real thing, you don't need to go on social media or to the news or whatever. You need to deal with that personally with therapy or with a friend. You know, she really did embarrass herself when she kind of went out in the media and was seeming like it was her long lost love. So people are pretty much criticizing her in these comments. I left the link in the description box if you want to read the article. But yeah, people are pretty much saying that Vivica did it to herself. And I would agree with that. Vivica, it would appear Vivica did it to herself as well. So I'm going to leave with this commentary about leading with sex. A lot of women are highly sexual. Highly sexual. I know, I have known women, I have had friends who were hypersexual, meaning like they slept with random guys. They really didn't seem to value their body too much. And I always, at the back of my mind, you know, I don't like to judge people, like judge meaning in a way like I'm trying to hurt you, you know, or shame you. If I ever thought anything about my friends, it was in the sense of, wow, I know that's not going to be healthy for you in the future. But I do know women like this, like women who would lead with sex. They're like, they thought that was the answer. And I've actually talked to various women, more than one woman, who told me that she feels loved through sex, which is very dangerous, especially for someone who ain't married. If you feel love through sex and you're not married and you're a high value woman, or high value women don't behave like that. So if you're on the journey to become a high value woman, and you feel loved by premarital sex, that's a problem. That's a problem. And that's a problem that needs counseling or therapy. I do feel a lot of women, and in particular masculine women, they are hypersexual. I heard someone say that today in a YouTube video, and I 100% agree. I think masculine women are hypersexual. Those are your Amber Roses, your Blac Chynas. I'm just using them as like media examples because these aren't real life people, as far as everyday women like us. But you always notice those women lead with sex. Everything is about sex. They're always trying to be sexy. They're always trying to show every crease on their body. They're hypersexual. And usually these are people who come from very jaded past. They might have been molested. They might have experienced some sexual assault, They might have been abandoned by their father. They might not even know their father. They might have daddy issues. So if you do research on why women are promiscuous, the research shows us that not in every case, some people are just weird, but in some cases, being promiscuous, promiscuity is what I'm trying to say. Promiscuity is linked to some form of emotional distress. And so I think, I had someone on the White People Like Me page that was like, yeah, free sex is fine. And see, these are weird women who tell you this, very weird, disturbed people, because when I think of my body, it's such a private thing. And it's something that I would only want to share with someone who loved me and valued me and respected me, because sex is such an intimate act. And now that we live in a slut walk society, people do not value intercourse in the way that they should. They don't hold it as something that's, powerful, something that's valuable, something that's honorable, something that you hold to you, and you don't release it just to anyone. Same thing with having a child. People want to argue with me on Instagram like, oh, it's not backwards to have a child before marriage. Ma'am, listen, we know that it happens, and it's fine, because you're gonna have to meet your maker, my maker. None of us can really be the judge of anyone, but you're not gonna sit here and tell me that's the right way to do it. It's very backwards, okay? And I've never met a child that said, yeah, I don't care that my parents aren't married. Y'all know I was an educator for over a decade in low performing schools in poor communities mostly. And you know who is hurt the most by children who come into this world not in a home with two parents who want to be married, who love each other, who are going to work it out, who are going to stick it out? Those are those children that are hurt. And the adults are hurt too, but they try to cover it up with different things. And so it's a deeper issue than just being promiscuous. It's a deeper issue than just having a baby out of wedlock, because really, who cares? Nobody. That's why nobody talks about it. Nobody cares that women really want to be married and they want men to value them. They want to be high value women. They want to be taken care of. They want to be treated with respect. They want to do all these things. And society will tell you, it doesn't matter. Have as many kids out of wedlock as you want. Do everything backwards. But we see that it's not working, because the marriage rates are so low, and they're going down and down and down. And I'm going to do a whole nother video about men who are actually not even getting married anymore. They're doing a pledge. It's called MGTOW. And I don't know if any of you ever heard of MGTOW? It's a whole movement. It's on YouTube. And it stands for men going their own way. Okay. And what is going to happen if a movement like this takes place? That means everybody's going to essentially be a baby mama instead of a wife. And that should be a problem for women who are marriage minded and who actually want to be married. So I think people think that when I say let's teach the younger generation to do things in a correct order so they have a better chance of surviving in marriage, I think they think I'm saying, oh, you're less than me, I'm better than you, I'm judging you. No, I'm being a role model for younger women. And that's what we all should be doing. Whether you had a baby before marriage, whether you had sex before marriage, that's irrelevant. That's not the topic of this conversation. The topic of the conversation is, it happened. Now, what are you going to do to make sure it doesn't happen to your daughter? What are you going to do to make sure it doesn't happen to the next girl? What are you going to do to make sure that the next generation does not experience giving your whole womb and a man turning around, walking away, and marrying somebody else 6 months later? Okay, what is it going to take for women to understand that men should be honoring us, they should be respecting us, and in return, we should be feminine, we should be cooperative. We should understand our men and who we're with, what they like, what they don't like. Just like our men should understand what we like, what we don't like. And just a lot of women just think they are the total prize. And I have to say, that's not the case, you know, because society will tell you, love yourself, girl. It don't matter. It don't matter if you big. It don't matter. It don't matter if you twerk on Instagram. A man's still going to marry you. That's what society likes to tell you. But high quality men, high value men also want high value women. Okay. And this is why women remain single, because they don't date with a marriage mindset. They follow all these feminists online who are also single, but they got kids though. They don't want men, but they got kids. It's backwards. It's very, very backwards. And so my goal with Wifey for Lifey is, if a woman desires to be married and she wants to be married, this is a safe space, and we're on Patreon. That's a safe space for us to discuss strategies, principles, and different ways we have to conduct ourselves if we want to be selected as a wife, and if we want to keep healthy marriages, because marriage makes my life easier. You know, I hear a lot of women, yeah, that's why I'm going to be single. See, this is why I'm single. And they sound stupid. Because I would never want to be single. I would if I had to, but why would I want to be single? All my bills is paid. I got a man who breaks his back to take care of me, who loves me, who's there for me, who's been there for me through every point in my life, who corrects me when I'm wrong, who checks me, who's masculine, who doesn't let me boss him around. And you know, we're not perfect. I'm not perfect. He's not perfect. But why would I want to do this life thing alone unless I was a widow, or unless I had to? Why would I want to carry my own bags? Why would I want to take out the trash? Why would I want to raise a child alone? Why would I want to do any of these things alone? Why would I want to do that? So you have to really listen to people's rhetoric, because the way women talk about men, it's no surprise that no man is choosing them to be a wife, because they talk about men like they hate them. You know, a lot of women just seem like they hate men altogether, like they just hate them. Like men is the worst thing in the world. And so back to my point, when you lead with sex, when you lead with your sexuality, that's what men think you are good for. Okay? When you lead with those traits, when you lead with, you know, I know how to do this, and I know how I'm going to do this, and honey, and yeah, and I'm good, and blah, blah, blah. That's very unladylike. It's not feminine. It's very masculine. It's a very masculine trait, like trying to have sex with everything that walks, you know, because that's just not a natural thing that most women do. You know, we're nurturers. You know, we want relationships. We want stability. We want commitment. We don't want to be sleeping with 15 men at any given day. That is a damaged woman. Okay. That is somebody who is damaged, who says, I don't value myself. I don't value my body. I don't value who I let actually implant a seed in me that I'm going to be attached to for the rest of my life. That is a strange individual. And so, you know, my voice is not popular. People don't like what I have to say. But what I will say to that is, I don't care. Look at my life. Look at my life. Doesn't Migos have a song? Oh, poor Cardi B. Isn't her man in Migos? He's such a cheater. It's unfortunate that she has low self-esteem. A rich, pretty girl like her, who came off the pole, still won't let a cheater go. She won't let him go. But anyway, don't they have a song called Walk It Like I Talk It? I walk it like I talk it. So, you know, while a lot of people are online telling you, oh, I don't need a man, girl. You could be a single mother. Don't worry about it. Be a hoe, be a slut. It's okay. I want you to look at their life. Where is their husband? Where is their man? What is their man doing for them? Do they have the life that you want? And if they don't, if I don't have the message that you like, if I don't have the ideal situation that you would be aspiring to, don't follow me either. Be careful of what messages you listen to, because like Vivica A. Fox just told us, leading with sex in a shallow mentality is going to lead you two places: single at 40 and 50 years old, or even 30, you know, getting up there, and when you're 35, 36, 37, you're in your childbearing, you're about to leave your childbearing years, which they got mad at me about talking about that on Instagram too. But feminism tells you you have forever. You have forever to have a baby. You don't have to think about that. That's a lie. We have a window. We have a window for childbirth. And yes, we know women have babies in their 40s, some naturally, some unnaturally. That's not the ideal situation if we can help it. And so I didn't think about that enough when I was younger. That's a mistake I made. I didn't think about my window of fertility, even though I don't have a problem with that. You know, my doctor has told me I'm fine. That's something I didn't think about. I didn't think about that my window of fertility was like shrinking all the way down. And so what I'm trying to tell you is people's mentality will keep you single when you actually desire to be married. Okay, and there's no shame in wanting to be married. People will shame you for that. Isn't this funny? People will shame you for wanting to be married, but they won't shame you for being loose. We live in a very strange society with lots of strange people. So all I want to say is Vivica should be a lesson to everyone that we need to be looking for the right things. And when we're unhappy in our marriages, we need to take a reflective look at ourselves and make sure that we are doing the right things and we are in tune with ourselves. When you are single and you are selecting men, you need to get out of this superficial stuff. He needs to have this much. Yes, he needs the blah, blah. And you don't even have that stuff yourself. You know, I do believe that over a certain age, building has some requirements. Yes, we can build together as a couple, but when I'm at a certain age, you need to come with something to place on the table for me, and I will place what I have, and then we gonna build together. But I'm not for, you know, building with somebody who is irresponsible, not gonna take care of the responsibilities. So you have to think about all this when you're dating, and it's not just about how fine he is. Let's hop into bed. Too many women are leading with sex. They don't even value their bodies. And your body is valuable. If nobody ever told you that, let me tell you that. Your body is valuable, okay? It's valuable. And that's all I have to say. So let me see what y'all are saying. Going their own way to what end? They're just saying almost like a monk. Now, I still think they lying. A lot of them, the MGTOW, I do think they're lying. I do think they call it pump. I hate to even say this because it's so low class, but what they call it is pump and dump, meaning like they will have intercourse with a woman. They will, you know, have relations with her, but they're not going to commit ever. They are just going to be single their whole life. They're not interested in building. Well, and actually I've heard a few of them say, we can start families now with women because women don't have any requirements. I mean, do some research, MGTOW, MGTOW. Do some research. You will see how these men think. And these are the men that some women are dating on the low. You know, they say women don't require marriage anyway, so I can just have a baby with her anyway. So marriage is not important anyway. Also, letting men do things for you does not mean he sees you as weak. Feminists will have you opening your own doors and build your own house. But why do these things if you don't have to? Exactly. Oh, you said I froze. Oh, no. Okay, so I'm going to get out of here. I don't know why I froze or if I'm still frozen. So I'm going to go ahead and end the broadcast, you guys, because I guess my Wi-Fi is acting up. So I'm going to go ahead and just get out of here. Yeah, well, if you have any topics you want to talk about, let me know. I'm going to end because I don't know what my Wi-Fi is doing. I will talk to you guys later. Bye.